Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Shanti. I'm so happy that you are here, that you said yes, and I would like you to introduce you to the audience, please.
Thank you for having me, Caroline. My name is Shanti Refuge. I'm a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author, and I help women to release, heal, and live their best lives with guided journaling.
Oh, I love that so much. That is inspiring in itself already. I'm on fire to get to know more about you and the journaling, of course. So, my
Yes.
first question is, what inspires you to get up in the morning every day?
These days, what inspires me to get up is knowing that someone out there needs my help.
Oh,
I'm a servant. It's not even about me anymore. I'm a servant and I'm here to help. So as long as I know that somebody needs me, I'm going to get up.
oh, I love that so much. Yes. And do you have a podcast yourself or?
Not yet, but people keep asking. So that means I need to get one. So I will be having one soon.
Oh, this is a great answer and a great project as well. I love it. Yes, and I'm doing this since December. It's not so long ago. You are episode number 110, by the way. And but if you
Wow.
would like to know, we are in episode 110. And my next question is, yeah, and this is really interesting. If you had your own podcast, and this will be the case soon, very soon,
Mhm.
who would you invite for an interview?
More than just one person, I would invite anyone who wants to come on and share their story of how they overcame, negative aspects, whether it be, emotional, mental. I'm all mental health all the time. So anyone who wants to share their story to inspire others, because we need a community where we know that we're not alone. And people always think when they're going through something that they're alone, and they are not. So I would tell anyone who wants to come on and share their story to let others know, hey, this happened to me too. You're not by yourself.
Yeah. I love that very much what you said, and I agree. You are not alone. Yes, and to show that to the people who think they are alone. And
Yeah.
also, my question was aiming, of course, of some celebrities or famous people. So, who inspires you that we all know, for example?
To be honest, I don't follow celebrities.
Okay.
I don't, because I feel like their lives are not real. They show us what they want us to see. If I could find someone who may be authentic, it would be shoot. I see her face. I can't think of her name. Danielle. I can't think of her last name. She is on. She plays Sophia on The Color Purple.
I cannot help you, but I love to know the audience will know, or someone will recognize and maybe write to me or to you and help us with the name, and we can look it up, or I can look it up because I don't know it. I thought in terms of who was your mentor, for example.
Not a celebrity.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
you
a
see.
celebrity.
There is a better way to ask this question. Yeah, the question was, who would you invite for your podcast? There are many opportunities or
Mm-hmm.
possibilities to find people as well, and I love that you answered with anyone can come who has an inspiring story about
Yeah, I welcome everyone.
healing. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, I love that so much. Thank you so much. Okay, my next question is, how do you make other people smile?
I like to think of myself as a funny person. So, even on the days when we're not feeling our best or something's happened that, is taking over our mind, I find the humor in it. I find the humor in it. I always, tell people to look at the positive side, even when you're going through something negative, find the positive in it.
Yes.
And I like to make people laugh. And sometimes I make people laugh without even trying.
Oh, yeah. I love that. So you have this in you and you are, yeah, inspiring people to smile.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people tell me I'm funny and I should be a comedian, but I don't think I'm funny. But they seem to think I am I'm just being myself.
Yeah, you could test it on stage, on stage and being funny, or yeah, I would like to see it. But yeah, of course. Okay, my next question is, how do you inspire other people?
I inspire others by telling my own personal story.
Hmm.
I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression back in 2018. And I tell my story. I mean, I tell it as raw as I can get it without traumatizing, my audience. But I let them know what I went through and how I felt and things that happened. And, I let them know, hey, I came from this and look at me now. And this is what I did to overcome it. So that's how.
Oh, I love that very much. Okay, my next question is, what do other people love about you? I mean, like about you. What do they like?
My
Okay.
transparency. I'm very transparent. So if you ask me anything, I always say I'm an open book. You can ask me what you want, but be ready for the answer. Because a lot of times people aren't ready for the answer. It's like, I can't believe she said that. That's me. I'm the type of person you can't put me on speakerphone because I'll just
Oh,
say anything.
oh, I love that. I heard this last week. I asked a question or so, and the person replied to me, yeah, you have to be ready for the answer. Or
Yeah.
yeah, if you ask something and it was not the answer I expected.
I know it's like my days of hiding and sugarcoating are over. I this is who I am. This is what you're gonna get, no matter what environment I'm in. I'm always gonna be me and show up as myself. So you just have to be ready for it. I warn people, all right, ask me, but be ready for the answer.
Okay, I love that. Transparency is the favorite word of mine, but also honesty. How is this relate
Yeah,
to, is you are honest?
very much so. Sometimes I'm too honest. I don't use my honesty to hurt anyone, especially intentionally. I have a coaching program and I'm very, I tell people up front, I am a very blunt person. I'm going to say what it is. And if you are extra sensitive, don't join my coaching program. I'm
Mm.
not going to hold your hand. I'm going to call you out on your BS.
Yeah.
If I detect that you are lying, if I detect that you are not being, fully committed, I'm going to say something. And that's some people love that about me, and some people don't like that about
Mhm.
me.
And it's not the right people.
Right? Exactly.
Well,
Exactly. That's why I warn them beforehand. I want you to know what you're getting into before you come over here, because you're
yeah.
not getting your money back.
Yeah, I totally understand. We had the question today. I read this on Facebook. How do you deal as a coach? How do you deal with when you trigger people?
I receive them with compassion. You know, it's never my intention to trigger, but also it is my intention to get to the root of whatever their issue is. And
Yeah.
if it means I'm going to trigger you, then that's what's going to happen. But I teach my clients how to deal with that, how to cope, how to use the correct, tools so that next time you trigger, you know what to do. Instead of, some people when they get triggered, they scream, holler, cry, get defensive, and all the negative stuff.
Mhm.
And I coach my clients on how to receive that, accept that. I hold them accountable for everything. And they have to know that you have to um, be able to identify the part they played in whatever is triggering them. No matter what it was, no matter how long ago, you have to identify the part you played in it and why you held on to it for so long. So yeah, I teach them those techniques in order to get them able to deal with the trigger, because they're always going to be triggered by me or whoever else. It could be a smell, a sound, a taste, something on TV. But
Mhm.
when they come to me, they're going to learn how to cope
Oh,
in a holistic and healthy way.
I understand. Do you think it is helpful to face the trigger, to go into that in order
Yes,
to solve it?
absolutely. You have to face it. You have to face it. You can't ignore it. You know, and I always tell my story of how I ignored everything. You know, ignore. But because you ignore it doesn't make it go away. It only builds up and it builds up until you cannot control it. And that's what happened to me. I had a nervous breakdown. And, you know, now my mission is to prevent women from having one. You know, okay, you go, even though as ugly as it may be, you're going to have to face it before it addresses you. And you don't want it to address you like it did me. So yeah, I mean, it's necessary. There's no way around that. You have to address.
Okay, I understand. And I love how you mentioned the word prevention, because
Yeah.
what is the, if we don't prevent, then what is the next step is therapy. When it's
Yeah.
too late, then it's therapy.
Yeah, because the longer you hold on to it, that damages your mental health. And you can end up with bipolar, schizophrenia, severe depression, and anxiety, like I had, because I wasn't addressing anything. So yeah, so that's why I'm in prevention mode. I want to get you before you go over there. I don't want you over there because it's not fun.
Yeah, that's true. It's not fun. Okay,
No.
so what are your gifts and talents?
Ooh, I'm funny. I think I'm creative. I'm creative. People say I am, you know, like a painting and drawing. Sometimes I don't think it's good, but people, oh, I love that. That's nice. I'm like, really?
Wow.
And my memory used to be good. I,
Yeah.
I think I'm very, you know, um, down to earth, real. You know, there's nothing fake. You know, you get what you get. And if there's, you know, I can take criticism, you know, that's a talent, a gift, because a lot of people can't take that.
Mhm.
And I can give it too.
Yeah, would you say grounded? You are grounded?
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Perfect word. Yeah, I'm grounded.
And you are home within yourself?
Yes. And this took a lot of work. This didn't happen overnight. But I'm constantly working on myself every day, every day, every day. And that's what, you know, I also teach that you have to work on yourself every day. Healing isn't linear. You have to work on it every day, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, that's true. And you mentioned 2018 was
Hmm.
the turning point or so?
Yes.
What was the
Yes.
turning point?
I woke up one day and I felt a literal cloud over my head.
Mhm.
Literally, like I could see this dark cloud over my head. And I thought, oh, it'll go away. I'm just having a bad day. That cloud got darker and heavier, and that made my emotions worse. Like I was crying, sad, angry, everything, every emotion that was negative, that was me. I wasn't smiling, I wasn't happy, none of that. But I couldn't control my emotions. And it got worse and worse by the day to where, okay, something's wrong. I gotta do something. And I decided to go get help.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. So was it a coach or?
Initially, it was my family doctor because
Mm,
I didn't know what was wrong with me.
yeah.
And so I went to my family doctor and I said, "Hey, I something's wrong. You know, I'm crying all the time, and I prided myself on not being a crier.
Mhm.
You know, I used to be a robot. People would, you know, describe me as a robot because I had no emotions. And that right there was a sign, but I didn't know it back then. So I let her know, and she was like, "Oh, here, let me give you some antidepressants." And I'm like, "I don't want that." And so, you know, I took them anyway. But then I went back to her and I was like, "Okay, this isn't working." So she sent me to a psychiatrist, and I'm like, "I don't want to go see a psychiatrist because you know we correlate psychiatrists with crazy." I'm like, "Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm just having you know a bad season, or you know." But I went, but she tried to give me an antidepressants, and I'm like, "I do not want this. Why do y'all keep trying to give me pills?" So she suggested that I go see a therapist.
Mhm.
I found a therapist, and the first one didn't work out. The second one didn't work out. The third one worked out. So that therapist taught me how to express myself and get to the root of my issues. She taught me that by talking about it and journaling about it.
Mhm.
So that helped me so much. And I started journaling. At first, I was against it. I didn't want to journal. I'm like, why am I writing this down? This isn't going to help. This is going to make me, feel worse. But it didn't. She taught me how to journal. And so it started working. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. And I want to say by a month, 2 weeks, I felt great. A month later, I was like, okay, I think I'm getting back to my normal self because I was addressing issues. And through talk therapy and journaling, I learned that I had childhood issues, teenage issues, young adult issues that I never addressed. And that led to my nervous breakdown. And I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression because of it. So I knew I didn't want to be on medication. So I learned that you're just going to have to talk about it. You're going to have to write about it. And that's what I've been doing. And so I figured, okay, well, if this is working for me, I know there's somebody else out there who needs this. So I decided to publish my own line of guided journals. So my guided journals all have different topics. And whatever topic you want to work on, you're going to get journal prompts specific to that topic, and you're going to get affirmations and you're going to get writing space. So let's say if you're having an issue with your self esteem, only questions in that guided journal is going to be about your self esteem and affirmations, encouraging you to build your self esteem. And I started publishing those. I have like 26 guided journals now. And so I, published them and told the world, hey, I got guided journals. These help me. I know they can help you. And I got a mentor who told me, stop hiding behind those journals. They need to hear your story. So I started, speaking, telling my story of how I overcame, severe anxiety and depression with guided journals, no drugs, no medications, no negative coping skills, healthy, holistic coping skills. And then I introduced breath work, meditation. So I do all of that now. And I do it with my clients as well. And then when I started speaking, people were like, are you a coach? I said, no, I'm not coaching. I don't want to coach nobody. But again, people kept asking. I said, okay, I guess I'm going to be a coach. So I started coaching. And now I coach clients to go through the same process I did, minus the nervous breakdown.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. And you said you use journaling as a method to to overcome. You use this one.
Yes,
And then the next step was to share it with the world
yes,
and to help
yeah,
other people. This is
yes.
amazing. Okay,
Thank
let
you.
me ask my next question.
Okay.
This is a little bit okay. We know this. People will reach out to you after they listen to this podcast episode, of course. And then the question is, when people reach out to you, what is the one benefit they get from the connection with you?
I am big on pouring into people. I speak life into people. I don't have to know you to know that you are worthy, you are deserving, and you came to me for a reason. So you must have needed that. So I welcome anyone, even if it's general conversation or you want to find out which guided journal is the best for you, I will talk to you because that means if you came to me, that means you need some kind of support. And I am a servant. I will support you in your mental healing. So, they're going to, I always say, you're going to feel better after you leave me than when you came to me, no matter in what aspect, whether you're just meeting me in passing, chit chat, I'm coaching you, no matter what it is, you're going to feel better. And that's my goal, to make you feel better after leaving.
Oh, I love that so much because that reminds me of the quote from someone that people will always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you
Yeah.
transport the message. And one more thing. So people, please reach out to Shanti with the code inspired. And I love what you said about when people reach out to you, that means you have something you can help them with.
Yes. And if I don't, then I will refer them to someone who does. I never claim to be able to be everything to one person. You know, someone might come to me and need something that I can't provide, but I'm not going to leave them hanging. I'm going to refer them to someone who can better assist them.
Yeah,
Because there's nothing like reaching out for help and that person can't help you.
yeah, and you mentioned maybe you don't know it in the first minute, but you are
Right.
there to find it out.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes,
this is
absolutely. Yes.
amazing.
My aim is to be the person I needed when I was going through my issues because I didn't have anyone. And I don't want anyone to feel like that.
Mhm. That is really, that touches my heart. Wow, this is
Thank
amazing. I can feel
you.
it. Yeah, I can feel. I'm totally now drawn to you, and we are also we connected by not accident. There are
No,
no
not
coincidences.
accident.
No,
Nothing by accident.
it was guided. Wow. Thank you so much. This was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
for me talking to you. We will talk later or once again in 1 year and see where we are. This would be really great. And please reach out to Shanti. She's amazing.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I
And see you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you too. And see you in the next episode.